Today Dong Fu invites you to delve deeper into the Dhammapada, the 34th verse from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel TN Thai in USA. As a fish when pulled out of water and cast on land throbs and quivers, even so is this mind agitated. Hence one should leave the realm of Mara. Dear friends on the path, let us take a moment to sit together in silence, to allow the breath to settle, the body to soften, and the heart to open. We are here today to touch a teaching that is deeply true, a teaching that speaks directly to our own struggle, our own restlessness, our own longing for peace. This verse from the Dhammapada begins with a vivid image. The image of a fish pulled out of water, writhing and quivering on dry land, desperate to return to its natural home, to its element of ease. This image is not far away from us. It is not a metaphor for someone else. It is a mirror held up to our own mind. The Buddha says, "This is how the mind moves, how it trembles and shakes, when it is separated from its true nature." The restless mind is like that fish, full of agitation, caught in confusion, seeking something it cannot quite grasp. So the Buddha says, we must see this clearly, and we must leave the realm of Mara. Let us go slowly, word by word, breath by breath, as a fish when pulled out of water. Water is the natural home of the fish. It is where it belongs, where it breathes, where it moves with grace. But when it is taken from that water, what happens? It gasps, it thrashes, it flips, it suffers. So too with the mind. When the mind is separated from truth, from stillness, from the clarity of the present moment, it becomes agitated, confused, lost. It jumps from thought to thought. It grabs for pleasure. It pushes away pain. It spins in stories, in memories, in fears, in plans. It is not at home. The Buddha saw this directly in his own meditation. He sat beneath the Bodhi tree and saw the movement of the mind, saw its habits, its tendencies, its desperate search for something solid. He realized, the mind, when it is untrained, when it is lost in craving, is like a fish on dry land. And so he spoke these words, "Even so is this mind agitated." Dear friends, let us pause here and feel this for ourselves. Have you ever tried to meditate and found your mind refusing to be still? Have you ever wanted to rest, but your thoughts would not stop? Have you ever longed for peace, but were pulled again and again into agitation? That is the quivering of the mind. That is the nature of the untrained mind. It is not wrong. It is not shameful, but it must be seen. We must see the mind's movement clearly, not to condemn it, but to understand it. Because when we understand, we can begin the path of return. We can begin to bring the mind back to its own water, back to the present, back to the breath, back to the Dharma, back to its natural state of ease. The Buddha did not say the mind is permanently broken. He said it is agitated when pulled from its natural home. So what is that home? It is peace. It is mindfulness. It is the awareness that knows without clinging. It is the heart that rests without needing to grasp. When the mind is in its proper element, it becomes still, like a fish gliding silently through water, When the mind is filled with loving kindness, with clear seeing, with the joy of the Dharma, it no longer struggles. So we must ask, what has pulled the mind from its water? What has thrown it onto dry land? The Buddha tells us in the final line, hence one should leave the realm of Mara. Mara, the deceiver, the lord of illusion, the force of delusion and distraction. Mara is not just a being in the stories. Mara is the symbol of every thought that leads us away from the truth. Every whisper of desire, every cloud of doubt, every flicker of pride, every storm of anger. Mara is the force that pulls the mind out of its peace. And so the Buddha says, leave the realm of Mara, not run away, but wake up. See the tricks of Mara for what they are. See how craving promises joy but brings suffering. See how anger pretends to protect but only harms. See how restlessness pretends to be urgent but only scatters the heart. To leave Mara is to say, I will no longer be fooled. I will no longer follow every thought, every impulse, every fear. I will return to the breath, to the now, to the ground of being. Let us reflect more deeply on this fish. When the fish is in water, it is free. Even though it is surrounded by liquid, it moves without effort. So too, the mind, when surrounded by mindfulness, moves freely. It does not have to run. It does not have to fight. It can simply be. But when taken from that water, it suffers. So too with the mind when it is taken from mindfulness, from awareness, from truth. It gasps for something to hold on to. It thrashes for attention, for stimulation, for escape. That is why the Buddha called this mind agitated. And that is why he pointed to the way out. Leave Mara. Come back home. Sit still. Watch the mind. Let the thoughts come and go like waves. Do not chase them. Do not believe all of them. Do not fight with them. Just watch. And slowly, the mind stops flipping. Like the fish that finds its way back to water, the mind finds its way back to peace. This is not a theory. It is a lived experience. When we sit, even for a few minutes, and bring kind attention to the breath, the body, the moment, we begin to feel it. The agitation softens, the grip loosens, and something quiet begins to rise. That quiet is the Dharma. That peace is the home of the mind. Let us now explore how Mara appears in daily life. You are walking down the street, and someone looks at you the wrong way. The mind wants to react. That is Mara. You are sitting in meditation, and a memory arises, filled with shame. The mind believes it. That is Mara. You are doing something kind. And a voice says, you are special, better than others. That too is Mara. Mara is not loud. Sometimes he is very subtle. He comes in the form of your own thoughts. He disguises himself as your own voice. And so you must become very still, very clear, to see him. The Buddha saw Mara many times. Even after enlightenment, Mara would come to him, whispering doubts, but the Buddha would smile and say, I see you, Mara. That is enough. Just to see, to know, to not be fooled. That is leaving the realm of Mara. You do not need to fight him. Just stop believing him. Just sit with awareness. Just come home to the breath, The fish does not need to kill the land. It just needs to return to water. We do not need to destroy Mara. We just need to see through him. And the seeing itself is the freedom. Let us now breathe together in silence. In, out, softly, gently. Can you feel the mind returning to its home? This is the work. Not dramatic, but deep. The Buddha said, the mind is difficult to train, slippery, restless. But he also said, the trained mind brings great happiness. The untrained mind causes suffering, but the trained mind becomes your friend, your refuge, your joy. So we train the mind with patience, with kindness, with every breath, like a gardener watering the soil each day, like a mother holding a crying child. We return again and again until the mind learns to rest, until the fish is swimming again, until Mara no longer deceives us. Dear friends, this is the path, not far, not hidden, but here, in this moment, in this breath, in this awareness. Let us walk it together, slowly, lovingly, with courage, with joy, because each moment of mindfulness is one step away from Mara. Each act of compassion is a doorway back to the water of peace. Each breath taken with presence is the mind returning to its true home. This is the path of freedom. As we return gently to the core of the teaching, we contemplate deeply the image the Buddha gave us. A fish out of water. A mind that quivers and throbs when it is removed from its natural state. The Buddha was not describing just any discomfort. He was pointing to the deepest agitation we experience, the suffering born from the mind that is entangled in craving, delusion, and fear. Dear listeners, this verse calls us to compassion, to stillness, to liberation, like a fish flailing on dry land. The mind that is caught in Mara's realm jumps from thought to thought, memory to memory, desire to desire. There is no rest, no peace. It is disturbed by conditions, like wind to water. But the Buddha did not teach only to describe our suffering. He taught the path to freedom. And this freedom begins with mindfulness, with recognizing the mind as it is, not trying to suppress it, not trying to control it through force, but to gently watch it, breathe with it, understand it, and train it. Just as a patient healer listens deeply to the pain of a patient, the Dhamma invites us to return to our breath, to our body, to this very moment, where Mara cannot grasp us, where delusion begins to fade like mist under morning light. Every time we return to the breath, we are like the fish being carried back to the water, to its true home. The water of the Dhamma is cool, nourishing, gentle, and it gives life to the mind that seeks truth. The Buddha taught that all phenomena are impermanent, that nothing is worthy of clinging, that everything that arises will pass. And the mind that sees this clearly does not tremble like a fish on dry land. It rests in awareness. It rests in the stillness of wisdom. And in that stillness, Mara has no home. Dear friends, to leave the realm of Mara does not mean running from the world. It means seeing through the illusion. It means letting go of the hooks that Mara uses to catch us. Pride, greed, hatred, restlessness. doubt. These are not forces outside us. They are patterns in our own hearts. And with loving awareness, with diligence, we can gently release them. The Buddha said that the path is not about forcing the mind into submission, but training it with wisdom, like a gentle gardener who knows the season to plant, the right amount of water, the patience to wait for fruit to ripen. So too with the mind. Be kind with it. Be watchful. Be patient. When agitation arises, do not blame yourself. Instead, greet the mind with compassion. Say to it, I see your pain. I see your restlessness. Let us breathe together. Let us sit together in the Dhamma. Let us walk together the noble path. This is how the fish returns to water. This is how the mind returns to its natural state. This is how suffering ends. So each time the mind quivers, you can smile gently and say, this is Mara, but I know the way home. Each time you feel disturbed, you can return to the breath. And the breath becomes your refuge. The breath becomes your anchor. The breath becomes your raft across the sea of samsara. And eventually, the fish is no longer afraid, for it has returned to the cool stream of wisdom, flowing gently toward Nibbana. Dear listeners, let the words of the Buddha soak into your heart like gentle rain upon dry earth. Let the image of the fish remind you of the urgency to practice. Let it remind you to create the conditions for peace, for understanding, for letting go. And when Mara visits, as Mara always will, greet him not with fear, but with awareness, and with a smile that says, I walk the path of the Buddha, and I am no longer caught. That is the power of the Dhamma, not to destroy Mara, but to dissolve his illusion with the light of truth. May you be diligent like the archer with the arrow, gentle like the gardener with the seed, steady like the mountain unmoved by storm. May your mind return to its natural peace, to its original clarity, to the silent stillness that is beyond name, beyond grasping, beyond fear. Thank you for walking this path of wisdom and compassion. Thank you for honoring the words of the Buddha. Thank you for watching my video. Namo Amitabha. I wish to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to review the short sermons of the Buddha. Thank you for listening to the Dharma.